Okay, welcome to the Overstock.com listing training. Good to be working with you. Today we'll talk about the steps that you need to take in order to successfully complete a listing on Overstock. We're going to have you go to almost the very final stage, and then you're just going to save your listing as a draft, and we'll go through and double check it for now and then finalize it. Okay, and we'll show you how to get to that point. The first thing you do, you'll have access to this, is to go into Partner Oasis, and you'll have the username and password in case it doesn't automatically go in. But basically you just click on this and it'll take you into something that looks like this. You're gonna have to click on the create button first, which I'll show you in just a second. But once you clicked on the create button, it will take you into these offers. Okay, and you see here you click on all offers, and then they come up like this, and you can see the ones that we've been working on. What I did, let me show you this. Okay, so go back. Once you log in, you hit create, and that takes us into where we are now. Okay. All right, now we go back to all offers. We're in our listings, and what I did was previously I had clicked on this and pushed clone. Okay. And that makes it a little quicker because it'll fill in some of the information from the last listing that you don't have to redo. So you'll want to do that on each of these listings. Okay, so this will show us. Now we click on this one that was cloned. Okay. Okay, so this shows us, get this out of the way. This shows us the listing and what we're going to be working on. This is the last one we did. We can delete the product name. We can delete the model and style. Materials leave, that's going to be vinyl. They're all new. Sommer Hansen's the buyer. We don't need to worry about that. We can delete the product description. Okay. Leave the zip. It's replenishable in 2 days. You can leave all that. This one, there's 3 choices. You have quotes and sayings. Wall decals or wall mural. So if it's a saying, just use that one. If it's a wall decal, you can click on that one, or wall mural. Probably these 2 are the ones you're going to click on most. Okay, so we'll do a saying here in a second. We don't need to do an alternative category. Down here, we'll come back to this, but this is the attributes, what it is, describing the product. And then down here, where it says images, this is where our pictures are going to go. And they need to be 1,000 by 1,000, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Over here is our SKU, the color of the wall vinyl, the cost that we're going to put in for that, the site cost. That's how much Overstock is going to charge on their site for this product. These are all lightweight, so you can leave that, and then leave the shipping stuff is fine. And they're all going to be about 7 ounces, so just leave it at 7 ounces. The cost includes shipping. Down here, another place to put the color. A lot of these are just black, but some of them have multiple colors. The last one we did had gold and black. Then you'll see a next. So there's actually 2 pages to this. There's a next. Snake River Decor, that's the manufacturer name. You can leave that. The part number, we're going to change that in a minute. Don't worry about this box. For product summary, just say see product description. Can the item be sold outside the US? Yes. And then China is the country of origin. Another product weight over here. Here's where we'll put the UPC. And this product does not have a warranty. None of these do. And then the last thing here is, well, 2 more things. Here's the product description, or sorry, the product dimensions. So this one was 12 6 by 8 sheets, and then over here is another color. There's a couple of redundant things on this listing process but you have to fill them in, or it gives you an error. Okay, so where are you going to get all this information for what you're going to be working on in the listing? We have a workbook spreadsheet in Google that you have access to, and it says wall vinyl spreadsheet. Now you see these ones in green. The green ones, those are ones that have already been done. This column, the B column, that's going to be the SKU. So how we know what sold. The first SKU we didn't do with SKUs, and then we started doing SKUs. So each one's going to have a description, and then it'll have the number so we can identify it. This column here, C, is the link to where you're going to get the information. Basically, we're taking listings from other websites and putting them on Overstock. Okay, and then we're drop shipping them. Okay, so if we go to, and then I'll show you the price. So laundry today or naked tomorrow was this one. Okay, so if we go here, scroll over, D tells us how much it cost. Okay, this E column is the one that you need to be concerned about because that's going to be the price that you put in, and then this is the second thing you put in, the final site price for Overstock. Okay, so let's just work our way through this. We'll start with this one since it's the next one in the group here. Life is Too Short, Dr. Seuss Inspirational Wall Vinyl. Okay, so I just go down to that, copy it, go back to my listing, go to the product name, push paste. Okay, and then we can also, for the model style number, it can be the same thing. Sometimes for the model name, it gets a little long and you'll get an error here. You can shorten this up if you need to make it a little bit different from this one in order to make it under the word count. Okay, so that stuff's all we already did. Okay, let me show you. So we're gonna go copy this. And this one, most of these are on Amazon. Not all of them, but most of them. Some are on eBay, some on other places. We can go here, we're going to paste that link that we just copied. Push enter. Okay, so this is the one we're going to be working on, this Dr. Seuss quote, wall vinyl. So I already gave you the title, you don't need to worry about that. For the description, you can just go down to their description and copy and paste it. Don't put anything about the company. So if there's anything about Budocal as the company here, we don't need to put that in here. So I'm going to copy just this information here. Delivery times not applicable for us, so I'm going to copy that stuff. Okay, then I'm going to go back to my listing, and then I push paste. Okay, that's now done. Okay, all this information's already done. So this is children's art. Dr. Seuss is children's art. It's an inspirational quote, so we could leave that for this listing. Okay, I'm going to come back to the pictures here in a second. Supplier SKU. Go back to B column. Supplier SKU for this one is something we just made up for you. I'm going to copy that. Go back here. Pretty straightforward. Okay, that's in there now. This is black. How do we find out if it's the right price? Because this is the price from the last one. We just scroll over. $24.99 is what we need to put. And then I'm going to put it says to put $34.99. I know that would be approved for Overstock, but I want to show you what happens when there's an error. So we're going to put $31.99 for now. Okay. Quantity available, just put 1,000 for each of these. This information's already done. And then this one is just black, so we're going to click off that one. So we got black. Don't need to worry about comparison pricing. We're going to go over to next. Snake River Decor we leave, and we can just say Life is Too Short, Dr. Seuss. This is just an identifier for us. It's too short, Dr. Seuss Exact color, as I mentioned, you've got to fill that in. That's going to be black. Dimensions, we need to erase those from the last listing. Our dimensions are 23 by 35. So sometimes it won't tell you width and height. If you just look at this, you can tell that the height is the long one, so it's going to be 23 width by 35 width. Also, on some of these listings, you have them in centimeters, which everybody uses centimeters except for us Americans. Just if that happens, you need to know what it is. Just go, you can do a centimeter to inches calculator, and it'll tell you. You punch that in, and it'll tell you what you should have for your dimensions. So, if you have questions on that, I can show you how to do that later. It's really pretty simple. So we'll go back to that. Now I'm forgetting what it was. 23 width by 35 height. Okay. Now you can see we still need to do pictures from the first page, and we need to do UPC. So that's where the UPC goes. Okay, so I gave you a list, or I will give you a list with UPC codes on it. Here's a list that I have. We just copy the UPC code here. I'm going to go back to our listing, put in our UPC code. There it is. Okay, now just kind of double check. It's also a good idea on your UPC code list that we give you on the spreadsheet. Once you've used it, if you'll just put a red, change it to the color red, you'll know you've used it before, and that way you won't get an error. So just as you go down, turn them red, and then when you're out, we'll give you more UPC codes. Okay, so go back to previous. Everything looks good on this page. Just do a double check here. Pricing we did. Okay, now what haven't we done yet? We haven't done pictures. Now, some of these listings will only have one picture. If it just has one picture, that's fine. Just do one picture. If it has a white background with black, do that one. And then if it has like a lifestyle picture, like it's behind a couch or a table or something like that, do that. So you'll do a total of 2 pictures. So let's look at this one. This one looks like it has, oh, there's the conversion for us right there. This one has 2 pictures. Okay, this is where you need the snipping tool. If you don't have a snipping tool, you'll need to download one. If I click on this, it'll make it large for us. Go to my snipping tool, click new, and then you just try to make this as square as you can. We're gonna have to go in and change that here in a second. So I have a folder, and I would recommend that you do the same. Just call it Overstock listings or something like that, so you'll know. And mine's called List on Overstock. So this one I'm just going to call something you can remember really easy. Dr. Seuss 1. Save it there. Click off. And then you can pick one of these. I kind of like the one with Santa Claus, so I'm going to pick that one. Do another one. I'm going to call this Dr. Seuss 2. I'm trying to make them the same except for the number, and then you can get to them quick. Dr. Seuss 2. Good. So now I have those captured, but they're not the right size. So go into your Paint program. Everybody has Paint, so you should have Paint. If not, you can download that as well. Should be free. Open. We'll go back to that folder. Okay. Dr. Seuss. I went too far. There they are. Okay, now they need to be 1,000 by 1,000, so we just click on resize. And then the smallest one, that's 757 right there, that one's bigger. Just hit 1,000, and that'll change that. And then you just push save, and it'll save it exactly in the same name. So that's one. Then we do the next one. Should be easy to find with Santa Claus. Or the other thing you can do is you can scroll down, or you can just do that, and it will pull it up. Dr. Seuss 2. Boom. We need to make sure that's 1,000 by 1,000. So we pick that one. File. Save. Okay, now we're ready. We can go back to our listing. And we're going to click on our images. If you have a nice lifestyle one, choose that as your first one. If you don't, you can do something like that as that's the only option. Do that one. But this one, we have this nice Santa Claus picture, so let's use it. That'll be our first one, and our second one is going to be this other image. Okay, now we should be all ready to go to submit this. And for now, I think what I'm going to have you all do is, if you'll just save this as a draft, that way we can go in and kind of do the final approval before we submit. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to submit it now in this training video as well. But for now, until we tell you otherwise, you're going to submit as a partner draft once you've got everything done, and then we can do the final check. But again, I'm going to show you all of this in this training video as well. So if we were to submit it, we click that. And you see we got an error here. It says value length 54 is greater than 50. Value length must be between 1 and 50. So that's it'll outline it in red for us. This is too long, like I told you earlier. So if we just take out inspiration, all that should be fine. Okay, that's going to get us under 50. Now we submit again. What you need to put here is just ready. For skew. Sorry. Creation. And then we click finish. It's going to give us another error on price probably. Okay, yes. So like I said, we set the margin too low. So what I'd like you to do, if you're doing this, we'll do this probably from the start, but once you get good at this, we'll let you do this as well, is we want this margin as low as we can get it so that we don't have it super highly priced on Overstock. Now, I know from doing this that probably $34.99 is going to get approved, but what I'd like you to do is just go up in dollar increments until you find it. So we'll try $32.99, submit. Still not meeting our margins, they say. If we put in 33, they'd say the same thing. So we'll go to 34 and see if that works. Submit. Finish. Get a little clock going there. Okay, perfect. So it says pending SKU creation, and we're all set. Now, if you go back to the sheet here, that's red. You can now make that green. Okay, and then you're off to the next one. This is going to be your next one, and you're going to go through that process again. You can clone the one you just did and then erase the parts you don't need and leave the ones you can use again. Okay? So that's basically how you do it. Pretty straightforward. Thanks for watching the video. And if you have any questions, we're happy to answer those for you.